and then let them decide what they want to eat, right? Or what they want to buy. Because I was just going to go, when you go to a buffet, they just don't have roast beef and mashed potatoes. They have roast beef, corn, fish, chicken, all these different things. And then you wheedle it down to what you want. Some days I eat a little bit of everything. But for the most part, you can cut down. So that's what we've kind of done here and suggest for you to take a look at it. But anyway, that first tree has really been one of the most talked about. One of the items of interest on the tree, if you see the lights that are on there, that's a brown core. So if you're doing things, remember, when you go to the store and you buy lights, you usually get green or white, right? Well, green or white, what are the odds that's really what you want? Well, if you're doing a green wreath, the green lights make sense. If you're decorating a tree or something like that. But if you're doing something in the naturals and you want a very earthy look, or if you want to put something up for, let's say, the autumn season and you're doing things with grapevine, I think having the brown lights is a real advantage. So much so that I've been to different shops and I've seen designers, what they'll do is they'll take a sheet of styrofoam and take the lights and bury the lights in the styrofoam, exposing the cord, so then they can just spray the cord whatever they want. Well, here we've saved you that step, because honestly, that's pretty tedious, especially if there's 50 lights. Well, I'm over here doing this. One of the more popular wreaths that we've had, David's working on over there, and it looks like, to be honest, we're going to sell out of that pretty quick. Very natural. I think it mixes well with the look with the owls, with the houses. Some of that vintage Christmas look, it looks really well with that. And of course, it also looks very nice with the natural Christmas, using the birch branches and things like that. So what Kim's going to do, I just wanted to show you how easy it is. She's going to take one of our natural garlands and wrap it around that wreath, just so you know how easy it is. So she's just going to take a few minutes to do that while I keep talking to you over here about what we have. One of the things that we're seeing is a mixture in textures in design elements, right? We have some pottery with a rougher finish instead of the smooth finish. We see that mixed easily with some of the metal items. This basket is a beautiful, it's a little bit heavier metal basket. It's given an eclectic look. Right inside the basket, we have dry boards. We have some artificial components with the grapevine. And then over here, we also have some orbs that have been done almost with that paper mache kind of look. Easily mixed in as well in the ceramic. You'll see the dry boards again, but then you'll also see some of those huge pine cones, some more pine cones. Those are gorgeous sugar pine cones, which all by themselves, nestled in a basket, what a beautiful look. Just 6 or 7 of those. Very fun. And they're $2.25 each. What a great price. You can always sell them. In this ceramic pot, you know, when we first saw them, I thought, who's going to pay money to have birch branches that are artificial, right? Or logs that are artificial? Because personally, I have a backyard full of logs. You know, after that big wind we had about a week ago, I got branches everywhere. But you know, sometimes if you're in a restaurant or in your home, you don't want that dust and that mess. So we've done really well with the artificial branches. They look very realistic, don't they? Then you can bundle them and just set them somewhere in a very natural setting. Whether you have a fireplace or a sofa table in your home that you want to decorate. And here, David and Kim just took a selection of them and put them in a nice ceramic container. Moving on down, this is interesting. A few months ago, one of our suppliers, Syndicate Sales, came up with this wrap. If you look at it really closely off the roll, it's actually the same wrap that they use in medical supplies to do casts, wrap casts. So if a young girl wants a pink cast, we can wrap it in the pink. And in this case, we have kind of a zebra look. This is not as easy as it looked, but oh, there it is. Okay. So it's just kind of different, right? So if you have a beautiful cylinder vase at home, but you're getting ready to decorate for the holiday, you can take some of that wrap a couple of strips around it, and give it a little bit different look. Kim has actually taken it, found some old broken ornaments. Can you see those here in the bottom of the arrangement? taken a couple of those ornaments that she was ready to throw away, and she's wrapped them in that wrap and given them a new life. So she's brought a little bit of a different look and a different element. It seems more and more in design today, we're always going for a little bit more of an eclectic look, right? So we've added some glass to this, we have some natural pieces, but then Kim has taken one of the candles, and oftentimes we don't burn candles so much anymore, right? Just for looks. And she sprayed it with glossy black paint to give it the look that she wanted. One of the design colors I think you're going to see throughout today is black. We're mixing in the black with reds, with white, with crystal. Kind of upscales a little bit, gives a little bit more of a classy look. It just changes the look a little bit, whether it's a rustic look or a very elegant look. Kim, would you hold that up? So it's just taking her a few minutes. Here's the original wreath, and here's the makeshift one if we run out of the first one. And now it's not identical, but you get the idea. I think it gives you that same look. And for a customer, you could whip that together for yourself. I'm moving down just a little bit further. Within the natural realm, I think they've done a great job of mixing the metals, the golds, the coppers, adding a little bit of the sparkles in and the brown. And again, look at that vase, a beautiful ceramic vase, but just some very natural elements as well with it. Mixes in really well. Again, we have the bottles here, so you have the glass with the ceramics, with the wicker, just changing a lot of textures. One of the vases that I really liked, and we've had it for a couple of years now, and we reorder it all the time, it's not the same vase on anything, is this tall, thin vase. And many times customers look at that and go, I can't do anything with it. As a matter of fact, a few years ago, when Jim Norley was still coming in every couple of days, and he'd walk up and down the aisles, and he'd look at the things that we purchased, and he'd say, Tom, we can't have this because there's no room for flowers in there, right? It's got that skinny neck. And I tell us, Mr. Nordley, people like that. Because then they can just take it for one or two things in it, and then it's finished, right? So you don't have to fill that large container. Well, taking it up to this height, the same thing. It's a very narrow container. What Kim has done, though, is she's added the branches for the height, but she's actually just designed on the top of that container. So she's put her foam at the very top, and then added the branches and those beautiful sugar cones, $2.25, by the way. For $4.50, can you get more show than that? You really can. And then just adds a bit of the salt and cedar. I really like the salt and cedar. And I don't know if you can tell or not really here, but after the show, maybe come up and talk to me. When we have that new flocked branch, can you see the brown? It's kind of a wavy branch. It's a beautiful color. If you're going to put something in a design element on a table, we have it in red, we have it in white, and it's just a standard branch. Right? But it has this flocking. It looks like red velvet or brown velvet or black velvet. Very different and really attracts the eye. It gives you a different look to an arrangement. And then of course over here, David's taken the cylinder wrapped in burlap. He's added a little bit more of the burlap ribbon in the white, and then he's added a fresh phalaenopsis plant to it. And then just added some branches to finish it off. You know, phalaenopsis, they are so hot. Whether it's silk phalaenopsis or artificial, or the fresh ones. We just sell them all the time. We import from China twice a year. One of the things we're importing every other month is phalaenopsis organs, the silk phalaenopsis. We're going through them that fast. I just like this arrangement. David did it up early in the season. He did several. Taking that, it's a burlap wrapped pilsner, small pilsner. He's added a little bit of the natural roping. He's added a stem of a natural branch with the pine cone. A little bit of the pheasant feathers. Very natural, but yet a little bit more upscale, right? With the beautiful glitter mesh ribbon. Little few of the gold millimeter balls added to it. Nice job on that.